Growing up in Jamaica, our small country community was paradise. We were tight-knit. We knew everyone and everyone's story. The rivers were everything to us, our main source of water for cooking, cleaning, and bathing, so they were always busy with familiar faces. I was about 12 when things changed. I was at the river bathing with my friends, which is completely normal there. When I saw him, strange man, sweating and salivating, hiding in the bushes just watching us. He looked hungry, and his face was deformed like a terrible burn. We screamed and ran home. A few days later, my mother insisted on going to the river with me. As we finished bathing, I saw the madman again. He jumped out of the bushes and tried to charm my mother, but she immediately yelled, "What do you want? Don't come any closer." He stopped walking, looked right at me behind her, and calmly said he only wanted the girl. My mother stood firm and threatened to call my father. As he backed away, he offered to pay her a lot of money for me. He walked off across the river, but that was just the beginning. That was the first sighting of the man who stalked me for years. Stay tuned for part 2, when he shows up right at my house. Like and subscribe so you don't miss it. Hear this. The Jamaican madman who tries to buy me from my mother is back. True story. This time, he showed up at my house. The man came banging at our gates, looking very eager and calling out, "Bring me the girl." My mother rushed out to our veranda to see what that ruckus was. To her surprise, it was the man who jumped out of the bushes by the riverside and demanded that my mother hand me over to him. My mother screamed and told us to lock all the doors and stay inside. I heard my mother arguing with the man and told him, "Leave my little girl alone. She is a 12-year-old girl. Go find a big woman your age." My brothers and I were looking at him through the window. He was a scary-looking man. He is still sweating profusely, still salivating, and that ugly burn mark on his face was even brighter in the sun. My mother started running towards the man to chase him away. The man ran off to some nearby bushes, but that is not the last we've seen of him. The Jamaican madman was back, and this time, things got even weirder. I'd started seeing him again on my way home from school. He'd hide in the bushes, just staring with that hideous burn on his face, sweating and salivating. He'd always yell, "Come home with me," and I'd run home screaming for my mom. One evening, she sent me to the shop to buy a mosquito coil. And who do I see? The madman, walking with our neighbor, Charm. He saw me and started that disgusting sweating thing again. I ran past them to the shop. On my way back, they were still there, but now they were arguing as I tried to sneak by. Charm yelled, "Stop!" I froze. Then I heard the madman say, "I don't love you, Charm. I love the girl." He meant me. Charm stormed over, furious, yelling, "Since you want my man, just take him." I ran home crying, and let's just say my mom handled it the next day. Alright, let me tell you about my high school days in Jamaica. Picture this. I was 16, always popular. Our high school let out at 3, but I always go home late evenings when it is almost night. Now, my mother was clear. She told me to get home early, but after 3, the real quality time started. My friends and I would hit the bridge near town. That was our spot for catching up, gossiping, and sharing some serious chicken and chips and beef patties. Time flew. Seriously. One day, I completely spaced on Mom's warning. She told me straight up, if I came home late, there was a beating waiting. But who thinks about that when you're laughing with your girls? It was getting dark when I finally headed to the bus stop. I hopped off the bus, giggling, saying goodbye to my friends. Then one of them whispered, "Is that your mother?" And there she was, at the bus stop, looking furious. I knew exactly what was about to happen. A public licking. Oh no, I didn't even hesitate. I ran past my angry-looking mother, straight home. I avoided the public embarrassment, but trust me, I got the full beating when I reached the house. Let's just say, the next day I was home by 3:15 sharp. Follow 4 more stories. Let me tell you a story about my family back in Jamaica. I was about 15. My big brother was 18, and my little brother was just 7. One morning, really early, my mother went down to the river to bathe by herself. We were all at home when we saw her, just a blur, sprinting up the dirt road like her life depended on it. She darted inside, slammed the door, and we found her peering out the bedroom window, her face pale with terror. We all rushed to her, asking, "Mama, what's wrong?" She told us a man had been watching her from behind the bamboo trees while she was in the water. She got so scared she yelled out, "Why are you watching me?" Then, she just ran. She scrambled through the riverbank sand, cut through a neighbor's yard to lose him, and didn't stop until she was home. After that day, my mother never went back to that part of the river again. Thanks for listening. When I was about 14. Living in rural Jamaica, my family had a lot of cows. My dad loved them, especially his big gray bull. One day, my mom sent me to feed the pigs just across a path from our house. As I walked through the tall grass, I saw the bull standing right in my way. We stared at each other for a moment, then he moved aside, so I thought it was safe to pass. After feeding the pigs, I started walking back. Suddenly, I heard some boys across the street laughing and pointing at me. I turned around and my heart stopped. The bull was charging straight for me. I tried to run, but I was so scared my legs felt like jelly. One tripped on some grass and fell, completely frozen with fear. I just lay there, watching in slow motion as this huge animal raced towards me. Just as its head was right over mine, it was violently yanked backward. The bull had reached the end of its rope, inches from trampling me. I was incredibly lucky, and I'll never forget those boys still laughing. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You're not going to believe this, but I almost died by falling into a pit of shit. True story, I was about 6. Growing up in rural Jamaica, we had a wooden outhouse, a latrine, and let me tell you, that thing was old. My big brother was my best friend, and I followed him everywhere. He's yelling, "Get out!" But I'm just marching around him, stomping my feet and singing at the top of my lungs. Suddenly, crack. The floor gave way, and I was falling. My tiny fingers just barely caught the edge of the broken wood. Luckily, my brother stopped what he was doing, grabbed my arm, and pulled me out in a flash. My big bro literally saved me from a shitty grave. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more crazy stories.